Chicos. I just bit my tongue. We're gonna keep going. It's fine. Alright, let's get started with our notes over los interrogativos. What? Interrogatives? What's that in English? Well, don't fret, my pets. It is just a fancy word for question words. So interrogatives are also known as question words. So these words are incredibly important for us not only to understand what others are asking of us, but also for us to be able to communicate and get information from others. So throughout these notes, I will probably remind you how important it is to know these words. So on that note, let's get started. First of all, we have to know what our question words are in Spanish, and that's just simply vocabulary. So, ¿qué in Español means what in English. ¿Cómo means how. ¿Cuándo? When. ¿Por qué? Why. ¿Cuánto or cuánta means how much. ¿Cuántos? ¿Cuántas? Means how many. A couple things that I would like to draw your attention to. First of all, notice that all of those words have accents. Our question words always have accents. So please start practicing in writing them correctly with accents. Also, notice cuánto, cuánta, cuántos, cuántas is going to agree in number and gender with the object we're talking about. How many pencils? How many teachers? Those are going to agree in number and gender. Alright, let's move on. There we go. Accent marks. Okay. So, donde means where. A donde means to where. Notice that's one word, and we're going to use the word or verb ir when we're asking a donde. Versus de donde means from where. Quién means who. Quiénes is the plural form of who. Cuál means which or what. Cuáles means which ones, and notice that's the plural form of cuál. Again, all of these have accents, and some of them are the plural form versus quién and quiénes, cuál, cuáles. This part is not on your notes, but you might want to add this information off to the side. So, ¿qué versus cuál? Sometimes cuál is used in Spanish when we would normally say what in English, okay? And this happens with our verb ser, okay? Remember, ser means is, am, or are. So, if we're asking ¿qué es something, we're asking for a definition, okay? ¿Qué es la computadora? What is a computer? We're asking for a definition. What is a computer? Well, it's a machine and it can all do sorts of things, okay? Versus ¿cuáles? Is we're asking for an option. So out of all of these things, what is it? So if I wanted to ask what the capital of the United States is, which one do you think I would use? Would I use ¿qué or cuál? If I'm asking for the piece of information, what is the capital of the United States? If you said cuál, you are correct. Remember, if I'm asking ¿qué, I'm looking for a definition, versus cuál is more of a specific piece of information. So here we go. ¿Cuál es tu color favorito? ¿Cuál es tu nombre? ¿Cuál es tu nacionalidad? I'm looking for an option or piece of information versus ¿qué is looking for a definition. And that's only with our verb ser. Okay? Alright, now our word order and questions are a little bit different than how we express statements. So in a regular sentence, our subject comes before the verb. But when we're asking a question, the subject actually comes after the verb. So let's look at an example. El chico está en la escuela. So we've got el chico is the subject and está is our verb. But if I want to ask where is the boy, ¿dónde está el chico? Notice my subject is follows the verb. So ¿dónde está el chico? It would not be correct to say ¿dónde el chico está? Not correct. Make sense? All right. So then I want you to practice, how would you write the following questions in Spanish? Where are the books? How many brothers do you have? Why does the dog run? Who are your teachers? What do they eat for lunch? So it might help if you underline your subject and then maybe put a box around your verb or something like that, something visual that's going to help you make sure that you've got your verb first and then your subject follows. So go ahead and hit pause. This might take you a couple minutes, but please make sure you're processing through this and write down any questions that you have. And we'll go over your answers here once you're done. Okay? Good luck. All right, let's see how you did. ¿Dónde están los libros? How many brothers do you have? ¿Cuántos hermanos tienes tú? Now, you don't need to put that tú, but if you were going to use it, then it needs to follow your verb. Why does the dog run? ¿Por qué corre el perro? Who are your teachers? Oops. ¿Quiénes son tus maestros? There we go. Can you see that all right? Okay. And I'm back. We'll probably keep it up here. And what do they eat for lunch? ¿Qué comen ellos para el almuerzo? Right? So notice all of those, our verb is first and then our subject follows. All right, let me go back to my home here. Okay, and moving on. All right. So we can also ask questions without using question words. Like, did you do your homework? Or do you have soccer practice tonight? Notice we don't have a who, what, when, where, why, how in that question. All right. So in English, these questions normally start with a helping verb of do or does. Sometimes you also might see are, the word are in there as well. So do you play baseball? Does he have a dog? Do and does are considered, I like to call them cross-out words. So we don't have them. There really isn't anything there in Spanish. So in order to start with one of these, or put together one of these phrases, we just start with the conjugated verb. So, do you play baseball? We don't say do, we just say juegas tú al béisbol. Notice again, our verb comes first, juegas, and then our subject tú follows. Do you need that tú there? Not necessarily, but if you were to include it, that's where it would go. Does he have a dog? Again, does is a cross-out word, so we're going to start with our verb. ¿Tiene él un perro? Again, notice that tiene is our verb, él, he, is our subject. So far, so good? All right. Notice, again, still that the subject comes after the verb. So here's your opportunity to stop and practice. Notice that all of these 5 questions are cross-out words, so they are not going to use a question word. So I want you to hit pause and work through these questions. Again, it might take you a little bit longer, but I really want you to process through putting together these questions correctly. Okay? Go ahead and hit pause, and then once you're ready, we'll go over your answers. All right. Here we go. Let's see how you did. Do they have the books? ¿Tienen ellos los libros? Does Marta eat hamburgers? ¿Come Marta hamburguesas? Are they coming to the movie theater? Again, notice we have are. Are is also a cross-out word. ¿Vienen ellos al cine? Do we have homework? I think I'm going to have to move myself. Okay, there we go. ¿Tenemos nosotros tarea? Again, do you need that nosotros there? Not necessarily, but if you were going to use it, then it would follow your verb. And then finally, is she tall? ¿Es ella alta? All right. So we are going to be working on question words and our word order. The faster that you can memorize what those question words mean, then the easier these topics are going to be for you. So if you have any questions, make sure you write those down, and we will see you in class. Gracias.